to iron out any nitty-gritties. The major changes that had to be made were made at the steering committee. Such changes like inclusion of another pilot site, those are high-level changes that would need to be. But really, in terms of the benefits, the mandate is still at the level of the technical people to make some flexibility and let you enjoy the benefits.
I mean, as far as I think Uganda is concerned, if of recent you've seen there's a lot of effort between Tanzania and Uganda to try and reactivate the Central Corridor. And I also know that one of the AEO operator you've been giving as an example that route is Bakaresa. And last week we also saw a number of increased traffic through Mutukula. So I would really recommend that. I think that it should be an additional route to look at as far as AA program is concerned.
Some of those things were really decided at the steering committee level about the pilot sites, but since you are talking about Uganda, I would like him to make a note here.
Yeah, thank you, Jennifer. We would wish to have it, but also we did a lot of groundwork in terms of the readiness assessments at the selected sites, in terms of the IT, the infrastructure for the selected pilot sites. It may be late at this stage if we decided to include Mutukula. That would mean we have to go back and do some ground checks, and it would delay the program. So the steering committee approved the sites. Of course, the pilot is going to take 4 months. So our wish is that let us run through the pilot and roll out. Because we also understand in Burundi, for instance, there are ports that probably cannot handle certain items, and they are only looking forward for the pilot to end so that we roll out. So we may not include it in the pilot, but certainly as we roll out, Mutukula is a very key area. Secondly, with respect to Mutukula, there are currently quite a number of improvements taking place. The one-stop border post on those sites, I think Tanzania has gone a long way. On our site, we have tried to acquire land, and the construction should be starting any time, I think before the end of this month. So the readiness of the station to handle this probe testing, I think, is something that we haven't done and we can do.
So the trick here is for us to pilot and finish. Get over it.
Thank you very much. My question is on the rules in this period or in after. In case some rules does not work properly, is there a flexibility of changing in the shortest time possible? Number 2 is marriages. If you get married to someone and he misbehaves, what do you do? Because you have a limited choice. Thank you.
That's a good one. I think Matt will tell us about marriage. There was another hand.
Yeah, mine is just an additional question to what my colleague here is telling us. We are afraid now for the requirement of our Uganda plant, we are almost using, we are no longer using Mutukula nowadays. We are using Tanzania Railway Authority, Tanzania Railway Limited, to increase their capacity. Actually, we have rehabilitated like more than 100 wagons, and we've facilitated them acquiring 2 new locomotive for dedicated service for our raw material to the Mwanza salt, and actually the company is looking at the possibility of acquiring its own vessels to be driven into Lake Victoria. The only reason the company is doing all this is just to facilitate. Actually, our plan is to use more than 60% or up to 80% of our requirement in Uganda if we will be using the Mwanza. So I would just want to hear about from the answers from the Commissioner. Any future plan about Mwanza export?
Okay, let's talk about these two. The rules.
The rules where one partner is more powerful than you.
I think the rules those were two things, Jennifer. The first thing was about the rules, the next one was about then the marriage. So I think I'll let the marriage business be discussed by one of those two gentlemen, since the gentleman is married. Now, about the rules, again, we would like to focus you into the position that we are piloting. Okay? And we'd like to do this pilot as quickly as possible. 3 months, 4 months, if they're able to get out and start rolling out. And of course, when you have a controlled scenario, you need to be in a certain scope so that you test. When you test, you're able to say, okay, this will work for me for the marriage, this won't work for me for the marriage. And even the same has happened for us. We are saying it's better. For example, one of the rules is that we must be, you will enjoy those benefits when you pass through those pilot sites. If you want to go through other border points, through this pilot, you may not enjoy that facility. Of course, for monitoring, we would want to make sure that you achieve this. Now, just imagine these 13 guys sitting behind you here, and you decide if you are, I'll speak about Uganda, because maybe that's what I know more, but you decide today to go through Malabar, the next time you want to go through Kitagum is up there in the north, or the next day you want to go through another border post. How will one or the 5 or 4 officers be able to make sure that you are really facilitated? But I talked about capacity building, and we are saying that if it works at those pilot sites, in these 3 or 5 or 7 sites we have chosen, it will be our mandate our responsibility to build the capacity to make sure that now, after when we roll out, you will have been identified. You will be that person at that level, and therefore we make sure that wherever you pass, we put it as part of the customs procedure to treat you in that way. But we can't just come up because this is how we've been doing things in our region. We say, okay, this is going to pass, let it pass, TOA. But truthfully, when it comes to looking at the results and looking at where we would have wanted to be, we are not there. Why? We didn't test, we didn't learn from the test, and be able to accommodate what can work for us and what can't work.
About cooperation between the program and port authorities. You want the economic sector tourism to have a lot of benefits, isn't it? And one of the important benefits is time. And we actually lose time to our but also lose time before. So, is there an approach to discuss with, especially the port authority, in order to see how to facilitate more those operators who are involved in this program, in order to have their goods, I speak and tell it clearly, and wear it quickly and safely.